And then finally, one of the things that a lot of us have been thinking about recently is whether we need to find an alternative platform to X. As I said, last month we were looking a little bit deeper into Blue Sky. So we thought this month we'd have a look at Threads. Threads is growing, it is getting more and more users every month as people are looking for those alternatives. Buffer recently analyzed 10 million posts published to X and published to Threads to break down engagement rates. They found that Threads achieved a median engagement rate of 6%, 6.25, whereas X was looking at a median engagement rate of 3.6, and that Threads posts are driving 73% higher engagement rates than on X on average. So really interesting to see that. Obviously, it depends on, what kind of brand you are, whether your audience is there. Some other statistics that we found in a 2025 Pulse survey showed that 57% of marketers currently post on Threads, with an additional 23% planning to establish a presence on the platform this year. So it's certainly becoming more and more viable. 64% of B2C brands are actively using Threads compared to just 19% of B2B brands. So it's not really taken off with the B2B community yet, but that's not to say that it's not an opportunity there. We've been playing around a lot with Threads recently, experimenting with what kind of content works well. We're still very much in that learning phase, but we're posting a variety of news updates, behind the scenes content, and just conversation. And yeah, really interesting to see kind of what resonates with people the most. It certainly does seem when you look at a lot of brands on Threads that it's the conversational content that people do tend to engage with the most. As many people have said, it feels like early days Twitter, where you're just doing text updates, maybe a couple of emojis, you're keeping it really simple, and it's more about the tone, the content itself of your message, being funny, being, relevant, bang up to date, creating opportunities for people to contribute, asking questions, keeping it very informal, often using this kind of brain dump style content. So, yeah, the inner workings of your brain. And definitely this kind of wacky, irreverent tone of voice seems to work well, which Innocent, Channel 4, and Marmite have all adopted. There are, of course, other ways you can do it. I'm a big fan of the National Trust account. I think that's a really nice account to follow. Aldi and Penguin Random House often do quite a lot of reposts of other people's content and then add in their own kind of versions of it. So, kind of meme repost content works well here too. Are you having a go at Threads recently? I'd love to know. Let me know in the chat if you've been giving it a go, and let us know your handle and we can give you a follow as well. Earlier this month, Meta revealed that you can now share the public feeds that you've created on Threads with others. So you can create a feed where you're essentially creating this list of people that you like, a little bit like Twitter lists. And that now you can actually share that list publicly. So you could identify, the best people to follow in marketing or the best people to follow in the food landscape, and then you could share that. Or it could be your favorite list of influencers or creators. So this is a nice way to explore other people's public feeds and really gives you that opportunity to kind of, what's the word? Kind of organize people into these sections of lists to go and analyze as well. Meta has also recently published some tips on making the best use of Threads too. So they've revealed a little bit more about how the feed works. They are telling you, your For You feed is definitely a personalized feed based on the number of signals, such as accounts or posts you've interacted with in the past. So some people do say, oh, I don't ever see anything relevant in my threads. It may well be because you haven't interacted enough, the algorithm to learn who you are and what your interests are. So the more active you become on threads, the more relevant the content you begin to get served, as with many of the other social platforms. You can set your own default feed as well. So you can when, choose that layout when you log into threads of what you're going to see, whether that's the for you, whether it's people you're following, whether it's one of these custom feeds that you've set up as well. So a little bit like TweetDeck, if any of you used to use that, you can actually arrange the columns very easily on your screen. So it sounds like they've definitely gone back to some of the most loved features of early days Twitter and brought those out on threads. Also, the search has got a lot better recently. So you can go deeper with searches for keywords or tags. Remember, it's only one hashtag per post. So you could search for a specific hashtag. They're also rolling out trending topics, and you can express yourself a little bit more now with GIFs, polls, and you can also upload voice memos to threads as well. Whether or not we're going to see video, I'm not sure. So at the moment, if you post a video to threads, it's hosted on Instagram. But that is something, again, we'll keep you updated on from here on our monthly updates.